Today, I am excited to welcome you to Jen Pastikas to the podcast. She is a mother, executive, keynote speaker, best-selling author. She's also a podcast host and an entrepreneur. And she's the founder of Brave Women at Work, a platform dedicated to helping women advocate for themselves, lead with confidence, and build careers they're proud of. With more than 25 years of leadership experience in corporate America, she knows what it takes to succeed at a high level professionally. And that's why I am super excited to talk with her today. So welcome, Jen, to the podcast.
Oh, thanks, Anna. It's so great to be here today.
Yes. And I specifically asked you to join us because we have worked together many years ago. You've actually been on the podcast
Yep.
before, but I knew that you would be the perfect person to have a little chat with today about building a business while still being in corporate, while still managing motherhood and writing a book, which I'm
Yes.
doing right now as well too. So I wanted you to come share all of your experience and tips with us as well. So introduce yourself, let us know who you are, how old your kids are, and what you're working on right now.
Yeah. Hey everyone. So Jen here, live in the Chicago area, born and bred Chicago. So you'll probably hear a little bit of a Midwestern twang from me. I can't help it. But I love Chicago in the summers, which we're recording in right now, not so much in the winters, and been in corporate in banking and financial services, like you said, Anna, for over 20 years. But something was like calling me. You'd think that, and this is entrepreneurial itch, right? So you'd think that it would be enough, but it wasn't. And so I wanted to help women, and that's what I'm doing with Brave Women at Work. And then been married for 22 years to my husband, John, and have two daughters, Charlotte, who's going to be 15. I'm about in tears because she's about going to start high school here in a minute. And then my little one, Olivia, just turned 8. So that's a little bit about me.
Awesome. And you've had 25 years in financial services. So tell us, like, what are some of the biggest lessons you've learned through through your corporate career and then now transitioning into entrepreneurship?
Well, I would say a couple things. I started in investment services in the late 90s, early 2000s, and it was a boys' club. It really was. And so I've had to learn how to stand up for myself and advocate for myself and negotiate like crazy and use my voice. So that's one of the things I'm really passionate about helping women is to get pay and benefits they deserve. And then the other thing is, I would say to be tenacious after your dreams and your goals. And so you're really into that. I mean, you're actually got the best like systems. Everybody, and Anna didn't ask me to say this, you have the best systems to kind of break those dreams down. And I still use them to this day. And so I would just say that tenacity is, tenacity and really understanding and using your voice are the two that I've used.
I love that. And now you mentioned it takes a village to do what you're doing as a mom and still writing. You have the book and the podcast and
Yes.
everything. So tell us about your village. Tell us about what it means to do it all right now and how you're doing it.
Yes. So I get this question every week. So here are the two questions I get weekly. Do you sleep? And how are you doing this? And so here are the answers, because I am not, anyone who's telling you that they're doing this by themselves is a liar. And I pride myself on honesty. So the first thing is it takes a village. So my husband is a really active partner. He does a lot of that share of the work of the domestic duties. So I'm not alone in this. So he's part of the village, of course, the most important person in the village. The kids are really wonderful. I've been blessed with great girls. And then in terms of the business itself, I have two businesses that I'm building at the same time. So I have a business partner who is a publisher. Her name's Hope Mueller out of Nevada with Hunter Street Press. I have a podcast editor in Canada. I have a website designer I work with in Canada. I have a content helper who helps me like brainstorm social media content out of, where did she just move to? Tennessee. I have a virtual assistant in New Zealand. And I think that I've gotten about everyone. So that's part of my village right now.
I love that. And then when I started too, that was so important to have that assistant and to start because you're working all day. And so it helps to have other people working in the business too. So you feel like, you go home and, oh, my business moved forward, even though I was in my day job.
Exactly. And I would say that sounds like, wow, like that I have this monstrous output. They're not my direct employees. I mean, I just use them for hourly work. And that's how I can afford it, is through the profit of the business. So I don't want people to think that they can't build their own village. You absolutely can do that too.
And what is your process for your planning and your goal setting and, setting out your financial goals for, the business as well too?
So I still use your annual template, and then
Yay.
I've modified it. Yeah, I use the annual template, and I've actually shared the annual template with my coaching clients because I think it's really great. I also bring in a spiritual element to my business. So I do word of the year. So this year for me is intentional, that's my word. It really helps me hone in. And then in terms of financial, I do put the big financial goal on the top of my annual plan, and I review it on a quarterly basis. And then I have an accounting software that I look at. I'm not the best when it comes to paperwork and financials. So like I'm not going to say that I am, but I'm getting better at it, looking at the business of the business. So those are probably the things that I'm using to like really hit my goals.
Yes, and I should say that you are a certified Classy Career Girl career coach as well too. So she is certified to use the annual planning template and all of our
Yes,
systems
thank
as
you.
well. So work with Jen because she knows the Classy Career Girl system and she's certified to be able to teach you it and use the documents and everything like that too. So yeah, huge plus for being able to use the planning systems with your clients as well too. So tell us more about setting aside the business time. Like, when are you working on the business? When are you working your day job? What's your kind of schedule look like?
So it's not for the faint of heart, I guess, is the honest answer. And I think that you've always been honest with this as well, is how bad do you want it? Really is the answer to that. And so what I do is I kind of bookend my day. So in the morning, I've been trying to do Kate Northrup has this thing called Body First, Business Second. And so I'm trying to do more walking and really start paying attention to my body as I'm getting into that midlife era of my health. And so I'm trying to focus on my health first. And then I do about 30 minutes to an hour in the morning because I'm a really early riser. And then I go and do my work day. And then after hours, I will put in another 30 minutes. It depends. I mean, I always want to spend, at least a few hours with the kids, and then I will spend some time in the evening. And then I do schedule, coaching appointments or group coaching calls or, stuff for book marketing after hours. And then, of course, the weekends. So I would say for me, it's how bad do I want it? And I want it badly. So I'm going to put the time in.
Yeah. Yes, you have to know the vision of where you're going to and the impact for you too. I mean, you have this book, you have a podcast, there's so much impact that you're making in the work that you do as well. So that I know
Mhm.
that drives me too when it gets hard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's all when you have someone that calls you like Anna after, like, or I've mentioned I use the template, or I'm sure you have women every day that'll say, hey, this has really impacted me. That's the fuel we ride on, right? It's that one comment a day where you're like, oh yeah, no, there's a reason when it gets hard why I'm doing what I'm doing. And that's my fuel too.
Exactly. So what would you say to the woman who feels called to do something more, but maybe afraid to take that first step? What would you tell her?
I would tell her to take a small action. And if she's afraid to take the small action, think of the alternative, right? Like sit with the feelings of like, what would I feel if I didn't do this? And so for me, the regret has actually become bigger than not doing it. And once the pain of the potential regret became bigger, I was like, oh no, oh no, I've got to live into this. I got to like be that person. I have to be the woman that has a podcast. I have to be the woman that has a business or multiple businesses. So I would also say, as a final thing, I talk to women a lot about like that alter identity, like the Sasha Fierce of yourself. And so like what is the Sasha Fierce version? Like what is that like, kind of baddie version as my 15-year-old would say, and live into her is what my advice would be.
I love it. And tell us more about like book writing, because I think my entire audience, I think everyone has a dream of writing a book and you've done it. So what would you tell someone who's maybe thought, I want to write a book, but that seems like super scary and hard? What would you tell them?
Okay, well, you're writing a full book. That's on my
I
next
am.
list, right? You're doing the full book. I have done 5 anthologies. And so I would say an anthology is a really good place to start because it's one chapter at a time. But it is still scary to put yourself vulnerably out there. So when I was writing the first chapter of Brave Women at Work, Stories of Resilience, it was really scary. Even my husband was like, do we really have to share all of this laundry all over like the world? And I'm like, yeah, we do. And it was really impactful for me, a part of my healing journey, and helped me attract women that also were healing from similar things. So I would say, again, schedule time, find a support system, be willing to be vulnerable and work through fear, and find really good partners, whether it's publishers, book marketers, because when I first started working with Hope, the first thing I asked her is, I was like, hey, can I quit my day job? And she just laughed and laughed and laughed and said, yeah, no, you're not going to be quitting your day job. This is a labor of love situation. And so, just for everyone, writing a book is a labor of love, but it is so, so rewarding, and it never gets old. So I would say maybe start with one chapter at a time, or if you want to do the whole hogs, set a time of a schedule. I'm sure you have a writing schedule, Anna, and back into it and just bite that elephant like a little bit at a time.
Yeah, I'm still in the proposal mode. Like I haven't even gotten to the full book yet. And just
Mm.
the proposal, I mean, I've been working with my agent for now almost 6 months just on that. And I think as far as like the clarity goes, it's been eye-opening, like just getting clarity on just writing a proposal. So I don't know if like just there's so many proposal templates, like just maybe even start that because that gives you a good outline of like what you need for starting a book too. I don't know
Mhm.
if that's a
So
good
I
idea.
did more of a boutique publishing versus pitching with a proposal to a large house. But I have heard that it's arduous to do the proposal to large houses. And I would also tell you, don't get discouraged if you decide to go the more traditional publishing route, because most authors will get declined. And I'm not, Anna, I hope you don't. I hope you don't get
I'm
like you,
sure
I
I
hope you
will.
get the
I'm
first
sure I
one.
will.
I mean, but if you get declined once, two, 10, 20 times, like don't think that your book is not worthy. Like I call them, all of them babies, right? And so
Yeah.
you will learn a lot about yourself through the process once it's accepted. Whether you self-publish, you do boutique publishing, or you do big house publishing, you will learn a lot about yourself and the process.
Exactly. And the platform too, like as you're writing your book, you're building your platform. And there's like, that's what I'm working on now. There's like the platform section, of the
Right.
proposal too. So important. Like you have your podcast and you're posting on social media, you're doing your content while you're also writing the book too. So I don't think that gets talked about enough, or like how important the platform is too.
Oh yeah. So for me, like my edge is, and Anna, you've been kind of watching some of my content. Posting videos is an edge for me, right? Like actually getting on camera and like being vulnerable on camera is an edge. And so I would tell you though, video is where it's at, is what I'm seeing, is that, you can do static content, but you've got to do a mix of everything to really get noticed and build that content platform.
Yeah. And less polished, I'm too, right? Is that what you're saying too? Like
Yeah,
doesn't
like
have to
less
be
polish,
perfect.
I just did one, I was in the airport or I was
Yeah, I think
walking,
I
right?
saw one of yours and it just looked like you were so relaxed and, like just we were just chatting like we are now, it felt like.
Yeah, I mean, but it's taking me a lot of time. So, like, people that if you see my Instagram, you're like, oh, she's like really relaxed. No, 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 no. It takes time to get to that point, and a lot of good coaches and people in the village supporting you to get there.
Yes. Okay, so are you ready for lightning round?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, awesome. Here we go. What season of life are you currently in?
Okay, so am I going to give you like fall, spring, or what would you say in terms of season? You're not going to give me an answer.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't need to be like a fall spring, but like the season of motherhood, I guess, is what I would.
Oh, I'm in a transitional season. Transitional season. Older ones going to high school. I'm in a freak out moment that I have 4 years left. I am taking her to the Dominican Republic in July because I'm like, OMG, I have 4 years left with my oldest to really cement that relationship. And I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself, but it is like looking at the barrel going like, whoa, like this is going to be over before you know it. And I'm going to be hysterical dropping her off at college. And
Oh my
so
gosh.
transitional there, and then transitional with the 7, 8 is kind of an interesting transition too, because I'm seeing with my youngest one, she's not a baby anymore. Like she sometimes will act like a baby. She gets that kind of baby voice. And I know that she's just playing me to get like a Nito or something like that versus, being her age. And so I'm in a transitional phase.
I love it though, because they're watching you too. They're seeing what you're doing, and you're set and like you're modeling for them, work and what it's like to be a working mom as well too. So I love that season of life you're in too.
Yes.
What does meaningful work mean to you right now?
Ooh, good question. So meaningful work means giving back. So I'm in a legacy phase that I can feel. So I'm going to pull in a little human design here. So I'm a 6'2" hermit role model archetype. So you can look that up anywhere. And so once my life is broken up into phases, and once I turn around 50, which I'm getting closer to, I'm supposed to be that role model. And so I'm really feeling pulled to like give back and build a legacy. So hopefully that will be apparent in my work as I move forward.
Oh yes, I see that for sure for you. And what's one thing motherhood or real life has taught you about success?
That you need to take breaks, and that if you don't take your breaks, what are you teaching your kids? I mean, I will be honest to say, with the balancing of the corporate and the businesses, kids need time now, right? They need your presence, right? And so it's always something for me to be working on and to be focusing on, is to put the phone down, put the laptop down, and be present with them. We watch them at their gymnastics practice, really take them in, because before you know it, they're not there.
Oh, we're at the gymnastics practice a lot as well too. I didn't know yours do gymnastics
Oh, I've got
too.
I've got
We'll have
one
to
that
chat.
just made JV Palms, and I got
Okay.
one that's in cheer, and she does gymnastics. So I am always dance mom or flip mom or what. I'm always somewhere like watching some dancing or flipping around. Yes.
And that's so important too, to be able to spend the time to make sure that you're there at those events too. I love that.
Yes.
What's one rhythm or routine helping you most lately?
So one of the things that I've learned in the last 2 years since we've chatted, it's been a bit here, is really nervous system work and somatic work. And so I would say breath work and meditation has been a real saving grace for me. So I don't do it every day, but when I do it, I'm always thankful I did. So I would tell anyone, if you don't think you're a meditator, just do like 4-part breath, like just do, or between 3 and 4-part breath. It's not hard. You can Google it. Do 5 minutes. Thought I could never slow my thoughts down, but I've learned, and I know you can too.
What's something that you're simplifying in this season?
I am currently in the process of getting rid of some toys. So I would say, I'm at that teetering edge where I've got a kid that really doesn't want to play with like Barbies anymore. And it's sad. So it's like sad, but I'm also like really excited to like recapture that part of my home. So I've already been kind of warning her ahead of time, like, hey, we're going to get rid of some stuff. Hey, we're going to get rid of some stuff. So I would say that. And I would also say, really thinking about my schedule and what meetings I have to attend during the day. And I've hired some good people in the last couple of years, thank goodness. And so sometimes I just don't show up to those meetings and say, you've got this. And I feel really good about that.
I love that. What's one small habit that's made a big difference in your life?
I would say lately trying to put my body first. Last year was not a good year for my health. I kind of let like my diet, exercise slide. I just wasn't feeling good in my body. And so this year I'm making much more of a concerted effort to get back on track. So I would say the idea of don't let the morning get away from you. Like you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to get that walk in. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then the kids get up and you're like, oh no. And then it's over. Right. So when we say you may have to become a morning person, I'm serious. Like, even if you aren't, like, I don't care. Like 15 to 20 minutes, it makes a big difference. So
Yes.
that's what I would say.
Yes, I've been doing that too. Like even just a 10-minute around the block, I just feel so much better. But there was one time where my 4-year-old came out running, crying after me.
Oh
And
my God.
I had to be like, it's not happening today.
That's okay. But you made the effort though. You know what I mean? You made the effort. Yeah.
I
Oh
did. I
man.
try and like sneak out, but I'm with you. It's like right before they wake up.
I
I'm
know.
just like,
That's the
I gotta
golden
get it.
time. It's golden, right?
It
Exactly.
is. It needs to be longer. I wish.
No kidding. 3 hours.
Yeah. Coffee shop workday or working from home?
Coffee shop workday or working from home. It depends on what I'm working on. Most of the time, it's working from home.
What book are you currently reading?
I am currently obsessed with Off Campus, and I'm not ashamed to say it. So everyone go watch that show. It is embarrassingly like saucy and steamy. It's a romance on Amazon, but I'm reading The Deal by Elle. I think it's Elle or Ellie Kennedy.
Okay. What's bringing you joy lately?
Traveling. So I've been doing a lot of traveling since 2024. In 2024, one of my very best friends, who is a financial advisor, earned, not one, earned a sales trip. And she called me up and said, "Hey, it's your turn." And I said, "What do you mean?" She says, "It's your turn to go to Europe." And she took me on her sales trip to
Wow.
Europe. And since then, I have been traveling to Europe at least twice a year.
I love that. I love Europe. Tell us where in Europe. What are your favorite places?
Um, I love London, even though it's very pricey. I love Paris. I've reignited my love of Paris. I loved Lisbon when I was there. That was really cool. And I want to go to Istanbul. So I that's like on the wish list for the future.
I love that. Everyone create a wish list. You never know. You
Yes,
might end up there. A
exactly.
friend might bring you, then you never expect it.
I know, a good friend, right?
All right. Last question. What's one encouragement you would give a busy mom listening today?
I would tell you that you can, like whatever reminder you need, just listen to this podcast. If we can do it, you can do it. We're not unicorns. We just have taken the action. So yeah, you
Awesome.
can.
You can do it. Awesome. Well, Jen, where can everyone find out about you and your podcast and your book and all the things?
Yes. So, couple websites that you may want to check out. So, Brave Women at Work is where the books are housed and where the exec coaching is housed. And then amplifywomen.com is the marketing agency for female authors and entrepreneurs. And then my new keynote speaker site is jenniferpastikas.com.
I love that. And then what was your Instagram, just so we can follow your
Brave
videos
Women
too?
at Work.
Okay, Brave Women at
Yeah.
Work. Yes,
Mhm.
because that's how I reconnected with you. I was like, oh, she's doing videos. I gotta interview her. So
Yeah.
yes, go follow her for sure. Well, thank you, Jen, so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me.